Alright, so today we are talking about the Smalls Lighthouse, and I've got on my costume, which kind of looks like a flight attendant, but I'm a lighthouse keeper, and I'm glam about it. So I mans the light, and I'm also high fashion. So, the Smalls Lighthouse is located 20 miles offshore of the country of Wales. So, this lighthouse has quite a story to it. It's short and sweet, but it's pretty freaking terrifying. So, you have these two lighthouse keepers, Thomas Griffith and Thomas Howell. Now, Thomas Griffith and Thomas Howell and Griffith, we'll call them that, were said to be pretty combative. They would break into fights, and this is probably not good for, two men to work, especially if they're going to work so isolated. But they actually managed to do all right until Thomas Griffith either falls ill or he becomes sick. He ends up getting injured somehow at the lighthouse. So this leaves Thomas Howell by himself. Thomas Howell puts the body up in the lighthouse keeper's quarters, and at first it's fine for the situation until the body starts to decompose. So Thomas Howell decides he needs to put the body somewhere else, and also put the body in something. Now at first, he was going to put the body out to sea, but given their relationship, he thought that if the body washed up on shore, the police would come a-knocking because they would think, he murdered his coworker. So what he does is he makes a coffin, and this is because, that's what you would do, and also he had the skills to do it. So he builds a coffin for his coworker, Thomas Griffith, and he ends up putting the coffin with the body outside. Now, they did have some pretty severe weather, but it wasn't too bad. It was, manageable, things they would expect at a lighthouse. But the weather gets so bad that it basically just breaks apart the coffin containing Thomas Griffith. And Thomas Griffith's corpse ends up being basically left out in the elements. Now, the creepy part about this is that his body ends up, it looks like he's waving, basically. And more than likely, there were passing ships coming by. And so they would see this lighthouse keeper waving, and I thought, oh, that's nice, he's waving. But it was, in fact, Thomas Griffith's corpse. Now, the other person who sees this is, of course, Thomas Howell. So Thomas Howell sees this waving corpse, and it's been said that he thought that the body, that the person, that Thomas Griffith might have actually been alive, but it's also been said that his mental state had deteriorated after weeks of being with this dead body, because I've heard 2 weeks, and then I've also heard a month. That's how long he was with this body. And a month makes more sense because back then, and even I would say up until lighthouses were automated, you would spend a month at the lighthouse as a keeper, manning and keeping the lighthouse up. So eventually help comes, and the two Thomases were supposed to be, being relieved of their post, but they only find the one Thomas Howell. And they said that Thomas Howell was grayed and his mental state had severely deteriorated. People that knew him said that he was not himself. And it's been said that this is because he spent a month on an island with his dead coworker. So yeah. And there's two movies actually, that play on this or kind of use this story for inspiration. So one is both of them are called, I think, The Lighthouse or Lighthouse. So you have the one with Robert Pattinson and what's his name, Willem Dafoe. That one I would say is severely loosely based on this story. I just think it kind of takes from the frame of The Lighthouse and everything in the setting. But there is one called, I think it's called The Lighthouse. I'll put it in the lower third. But it pulls exactly from this story. And if you see it, it will give you the ick, but it's a good kind of ick. It's a good Halloween ick. It's creepy. In the movie, and I'll just tell you, in the movie they put the Griffith, or rather Hal puts the body of Griffith up against the window, which makes more sense. And he can hear him banging up against the window, like his hand banging up against the window, because the arm is caught in the wind, much like in the legend. Plus, side note, lighthouses have the creepiest, eerie, I don't know what that, I mean, I know what the sound is, but the sound of the lighthouse, the light working, like the engine or whatever working, creepiest ish I have ever heard. God. I think they made it more silent now, because I've been to many a lighthouse and I do love them. I find them fascinating. Most beautiful views. Tybee Island Light, oh my God, beautiful view. You can see as far as the Savannah Harbor, which I think is so like mind-blowing and so cool. But yeah, so that is the story of Small's Lighthouse. A quick, sweet, horrifying short story, or short legend. And I have some more lighthouse legends on my TikTok, so you can check them out at paint_it-haint21. Actually, nope, I'm lying. That is my Instagram, and I think actually it's on my Instagram too. So actually, just type in my name, and you will be able to look at my TikToks for the Halloween season and months to come, because I'm, gonna keep posting scary stuff even after Halloween. So I will see you all later. Bye.